Wait, are we live? Oh, we are live. Hello, everybody. Good morning. Hello. I did not know we were live. I'm very It's off to a great start. We're kind of setting this up at the last minute here. I'm very ready. Going to be joined by Vorty for this matchup. It's mrekk versus tekkito. Hello, everybody. Vorty, how are you doing?
I'm doing good, Fari. I had no idea we were live, but yeah, banger matchup. We got the Australian versus United States matchup with the Australia-United States duocast. So the bias is locked in. But yeah, we have mrekk as the seed 7, definitely arguably the most underseeded player in the entire tournament. I think a lot of people expected him as the previous Corsace Closed winner to seed a lot higher, potentially second or right next to Long Malashevsky potentially, but don't think he was too ready for his qualities as far as I've heard. So here he is up against tekkito, very well-rounded former OWC champion from last year, hidden specialist. So I mean, yeah, I think this was mentioned yesterday, but if there was ever a time to go up against mrekk, such a high skill cap player, it would be in round of 16, where tekkito is going to be very comfortable with a lot of these maps. So despite the fact that on paper, I think a lot of people will expect mrekk to win this. If mrekk isn't super prepared, if tekkito is ready, if he's practiced this pool and he has a really good match, this could be a very good one.
Unfortunately, this is not your typical round of 16 pool. We're basically at 7.5 stars average across the pool, as is expected from a closed invite tournament, which only the best of the best are playing. Nonetheless, getting into the bans here. I'm actually kind of surprised to see that DT3 ban from tekkito. I thought that would be something he'd prefer playing over something like the speed maps. DT3
surprised me too much, just because he had a tough time in the DT2 and qualies, which essentially was the DT3 skill set in this pool. I think getting 15th overall out of 16 players, so doesn't surprise me too much. I imagine mrekk bans Nomad 6 here. So far, we've seen Nomad 6 first banned every single match, for good reason. That's a very polarizing, very practice-heavy reading map. And I do think one of the biggest skill sets tekkito is going to have a leg up on is that Nomad 6. We're actually into the speed map already.
Yeah. We are taking way too long. These guys just want to play the game, and we do not have time to explain anything, apparently. And like that... okay, there we go. Now we're back. Good work, everybody. We fixed the stream. We can actually watch the match now. Nomad 5 is the speed pick in the Nomad pool, as you are very clearly seeing right now. A lot of 240 BPM bursts. Let's see how these players do on this.
This is tekkito's first pick, by the way. So definitely going to be leading into the speed confidence. Obviously, it's always scary to pick speed against mrekk, but if you feel it in your bones that you can get like a 99.5% FC, then go for it. Very comfy speed map. Not too much here that's going to really throw you off, other than the occasional slider jumps. It's really mostly just that 240 BPM speed mechanics.
Well, no player is having any issue with this whatsoever. Tied accuracy across the board. tekkito with the slight advantage, with the 100s being earlier on his side.
Yeah, I mean, for now, acts are just dead even. I think tekkito with an extra slider end, so really it's just up to whoever misses, or potentially nobody misses. I think this is the kind of map with these two extremely comfortable tapping players. You might even see a double FC and it come down to accuracy. That's happened with other maps. I think we had Zudi versus Enry yesterday, where they both FC the Nomad 1 and it just came down to accuracy. So even at this really difficult 7, almost 8-star rating pool, things like that can happen.
Well, finally a noticeable decrease in the lead, as mrekk drops a couple of 100s in this section here. No combo breaks, though, as we get into the last third of the map. It's just basically who will miss first, and if this ends up being a double FC, can tekkito hold on to the accuracy lead? I believe it's about 300s better, probably more so than that now at this point. The score lead climbs to 100, or not 100, 10k, just about around that. No one missing on a little long stream there. Getting into the ending of the map, and these players just refuse to miss. They don't like the word missing. They've never heard of the word missing in their life.
And really, this is the ending section where you expect to see a miss. Hopefully, you get the longer streams here, the slider jumps, but neither player is finding any breaks. tekkito's still on that 99.8% FC.
Oh, and
it's fun to make.
Just like that, baby, and that is going to completely kill the point for tekkito, just like that at the very end.
It's just difficult. That difficult ending section is really where it all came down to. He had that lead going up to it, but mrekk, I believe, just SSing that entire ending section. I don't even know if he found a single 100, and there we go, starting off the match with a breakpoint in favor of mrekk. Looked like a pretty solid pick for tekkito, but just lost it at the ending. And it was the No-Mod 6 ban from mrekk. That is pretty fair. I don't think he practiced it, and that is definitely a practice map.
We love reading maps from the reading man himself, Bashi Man.
Yeah.
Very close first point, all things considered, though.
Yeah.
tekkito was very comfortable on that outside of the ending, just kind of blundered there. DT1 from mrekk. I hope you like double time aim.
Definitely know mrekk likes some double time aim. Already, it's already a pretty high BPM for the first DT1 of the tournament. It's already at 280 BPM. So with a decent amount of triples thrown around. I think there's like a single stream in here, but obviously it's mostly focused on double time aim. This is one of the skill sets where mrekk, didn't play as well in qualies, but he's now a different mrekk. He's now a warmed up mrekk, so you can definitely expect to see him play this pretty well. tekkito, on the other hand, I don't know if he's as comfortable on this. I don't think he is going to be, but see what he can do. A breakpoint here would be huge for him. Just tie it up, but it's going to be a Herculean effort, winning a DT1 against mrekk. Here we go. I think mrekk finding a few 100s early on, but it's honestly fair. Does find a miss, though. Maybe not fully adjusted to that high approach rating just yet. And it's actually going to be an early advantage for tekkito. Obviously, it's not going to matter too much if tekkito finds a miss at some point, but the ball is now in tekkito's court if he holds on through the rest, but there's the break already, so he knows that he has that early advantage.
It's a very, very slight advantage, all things considered. 100 combos, not much to say on this when it's a 3-minute long double time map. mrekk does drop again, though. That little ending section there. So now tekkito gets to run away with this lead a bit. See how much he can build this up by.
The accuracies are relatively even, but this combo lead is now pretty huge for tekkito. Another break. Just getting through the halfway point of the map now, and I think mrekk might have just underestimated this map or just overestimated his ability to play high R right now.
Oh, it's paying dividends for tekkito. Losing his point, going to be hitting barely at those ending jumps. Almost shook off the sliders near the end there, but he's going to nonetheless hold through. See if he can hold on to this combo for just a bit longer, and I think it should be sealed. Not quite yet, though, as he does... Okay, now it is.
There we go. mrekk missing on that, I think, the only real stream in this map. And now that is a solidified score lead for tekkito, and I don't know if this is even possible for mrekk to recover this, but I think that 200k is going to do it.
Yeah, there's not enough map. 1/4 remaining with a little low-density part here going into the last chorus. Not enough map. tekkito would have to pretty much completely collapse at the end here, which is not likely in the slightest. Just like that, 2 breakpoints back-to-back as mrekk takes tekkito's point on an FC. And tekkito takes mrekk's point by a 200k score lead.
And a solid solid score from tekkito. Potentially, definitely an underperformance from mrekk, but that's going to be a huge breakpoint for tekkito, evening out this match 1-1. Going into his next pick, which, I mean, he could stay into the speed, but considering he lost it, I think you switch gears and you go something like AR8 hidden potentially after the No-Mod 6 ban from mrekk.
And we'll see. The only other remaining speed maps really are DT2. I guess no mod 2 if you count 211 streams as speed, but
Yep, it is going to be that hidden too. Relatively, I would say generic, but just difficult to AR8 hidden. There's not too much difficult reading in this map. It's mostly just, I think it's like 6.7 star aim and a couple streams. But at AR8 hidden, obviously, that is pretty difficult.
wait, this was used in OWC. I think 2021, this was the Grand Finals hidden pick. If I am not tripping and remembering correctly. I remember seeing this in 2021. I don't remember what slot it was, but I remember that it was used there.
You're probably right. I mean, it was submitted 2021. There's no map description, but it was November as well, which I think is like OWC time, so I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, we didn't get to play this because I got banned.
Yes, it was OWC 2021 Grand Finals hidden 2.
We didn't get to play this because it got banned.
Damn. Just have a worse reading team and then it won't get banned. That's that simple.
Oh yeah, my fault. Yeah, this is pretty much wide angles, the map. That is the main difficulty of this map, and you're seeing it in spades right now, as pretty much everything in this map is a wide angle jump. Or some awkward angled jump. Doesn't have to necessarily be a wide angled one, but that is primarily what is being used.
We'll see if we can prove the theory. If you're not that good at high AR on a certain day, maybe you're good at low AR. Maybe the AR shifts down. So we'll see if mrekk can get that point here. So far, both players holding on through. mrekk with the ACK advantage, though. With a map like this, tekkito, the first one to break on many of the wide angle jumps. And mrekk is just looking so solid.
If mrekk just woke up, that would explain everything. He actually hit, oh my god, he hit that pattern. What? Dude. That pattern is so stupid to hit properly. tekkito did as well.
I think being tired is like a high AR debuff and a low AR buff. Because this looks like AR9 to mrekk right now, compared to his usual. Which is huge. And he's just getting through it. And already this lead is going to be very, very difficult to surmount for tekkito, unless mrekk breaks basically now and tekkito holds through the rest. That's asking a lot.
also found a reset pretty much right before the break, and another one right there, so it's looking less and less likely as time goes on here. And pretty much inevitable at this point. I think that with that break alone, I think it's pretty much sealed. It's just whether or not mrekk will continue comboing now.
This is an insane score already. That was fine to break, though.
He's gonna finally miss, but it doesn't matter. tekkito immediately trades it, and with 1/3 of the map remaining, this 200k score lead is gonna be a bit too much for tekkito to overcome as we get 3 back-to-back breakpoints.
Love to see it. The picks are, they're just picking for each other, which is a friendly, nice thing to do. Still, though, I mean, great performance from mrekk, but I think potentially an underperformance from tekkito. I normally expect to see tekkito on the hidden. Maybe not as much on the low AR, but still I expect to see him play a little bit better, but you never know.
To be fair, this map is also really hard.
It is pretty cooked. And this is a round of 16, that's the crazy part. This is a round of 16 map. They're only going to get harder.
I do think unfortunate underperformance on the side of tekkito, but it doesn't really matter if mrekk is kind of just popping off like this. Oh, and I need to stop talking.
Popping off, he says he chain misses an entire burst.
No worries. Could have used that a bit earlier, but
yeah.
Oh well.
Yeah, really good score from mrekk as the third breakpoint in a row happens. Let's see if we can get four straight breakpoints out of the first 4 picks before the second set of bans. Or will mrekk break the curse and win his own pick?
Well, you only have one double time map remaining. We'll see if mrekk wants to go into that and get the speed picks out of the way. He did win No Mod 5 after all.
Yeah, DT2 is
sure.
a similar BPM as well, 247.5, so a little bit higher than No Mod 4, but No Mod 5, I mean. Otherwise, yeah, I'm not really sure what he's feeling like right now. His reading is honestly pretty solid, but I don't think you necessarily ever want to pick hidden against tekkito, just because that's going to be his comfort zone a lot of the time. So other than DT2, he goes Hard Rock 2, so it goes into the Hard Rock pool. This is the 6.5 flow aim control map. Very low BPM as well, 153.
I mean, you can see the stats out of qualifiers. Precision, mrekk has by far the highest of, I think, anyone in the tournament remaining at the moment, if that's what that gold means. So not too surprising to see this picked, as it is a CS 6.5 map.
See, I wonder how the precision score is calculated, or if it's calculated by the qualities, because I mean he did pretty well on the Hard Rocks. He got 6th and 8th, so it probably puts him overall pretty high. But I mean, I think there were several players who placed higher on Hard Rock overall, so they're at like a 10. I don't even know to see. But very classic song, Midorigo, Queen Bee. There's lots of stream practice maps of this song.
Fortunately, we're not stream practicing with this one. This is a precision test.
Yep. In a control test, there's a lot of cuts in the middle of these streams. tekkito missing right in the intro on that slider section. Maybe misreading it potentially, but you'll find a lot of cuts in the middle of the streams that at 6.5 are going to be pretty difficult to follow through on.
Well, both players not having any issue with the flow aim so far.
Yeah,
and with the cut streams there.
Covering after that early break, looking pretty comfy now. Boosting up his Zac as well.
Less of a flow aim section, more of a tech-oriented section here. Very light tech, granted, but nonetheless still somewhat techy.
And still be deceptively difficult, or I guess easy to break on just because of the 6.5. Any of these sliders can catch you out, especially with the bigger spacing.
As we get back into the flow aim.
Yep.
tekkito drops on the first one, and mrekk continues to hold. Still not quite over. mrekk can still drop quite soon, and this will be back in tekkito's favor if he can hold the combo here, but time is ticking. That opportunity is vastly closing as mrekk hits that final
he hit the back.
stream.
It snapped back at the end. Oh, that's an evil pattern, but he hit it. I mean, after that DT1 underperformance, mrekk is now looking back in form for these other skill sets. As lead once again, similar to the hidden 2, is already looking unsurmountable for tekkito. Especially with this combo from mrekk, I think once again it's just a case of can he hold on and find a full combo on a map like this. That would be phenomenal.
Only one Hard Rock FC, and it's from Form. Who else?
Who else but Form?
Who else for a low BPM flow aim pick like this?
Okay, now the slider spacing is actually pretty brutal on the 6.5.
Yeah, a lot of these cross-screen slider jumps that you're seeing are very... I mean, any cross-screen jump on high circle size is going to be very difficult, but when you add slider tech into a mix, it becomes a lot more difficult to just generally aim stuff like this. And mrekk is just having no issue with it. This point is by far already his, so no chance he loses this. It's just whether or not he can FC.
Any of these 6.5 cut streams are still hitting all the doubles. It's looking unfazed. Oh, he reads that pattern. That's a pretty scuffed one. Pacing at the end.
And he FC'd the map.
It. Oh my, that is a wild score.
Yeah, not much you can do about that. Was mrekk's pick, and by God, it sure as hell looks like mrekk's pick. That is the second Hard Rock FC on the map.
It's casually getting it in a match. I feel like it's one of the harder maps in the pool to FC as well. Yeah, I mean, not much you can say. Is a great score from mrekk. Tekkito doing his best, but what can you do against an FC on a past 7-star aim control 6.5 map? Not much you can do. As we go into the second set of bans.
Kind of interested to see what they opt to ban here. And Tekkito has the option to ban the remaining speed map, DT2, if he so wishes to, after what Nomad 5 looked like. I wouldn't really blame him, but we'll see. I imagine mrekk probably bans a hidden here, right?
Yeah, I mean, I guess you ban the hidden just because Tekkito is going to be probably pretty comfortable on it. Maybe the hidden 3. Hidden 1 is a bit more generic. I don't know if Tekkito bans the DT2 here just because I think his highest score was still the Nomad 5, so he has the ability to play that DT2 well, most likely. The question is, do you think he can beat mrekk on it? But with how mrekk's been playing these other maps, I think he might leave it open.
I actually could also see a potential Nomad 3. I mean, that also does make sense. Any alt-oriented or tech map, I think, would do fine for a ban against Tekkito. So I can get behind that. Nomad 3 out of the pool. Unfortunate for Vorty, as he says that is his favorite song in the pool. Not going to be seeing that. Hard Rock 1 on the side of Tekkito is kind of expected. Any Hard Rock, I think, would be the other ban I'd put him at, if not for DT2. And apparently he's feeling confident on speed. I mean, Nomad 5 was close. It was just the ending that pretty much decided the entire map. Yep. Just like that, another insta-pick into hidden.
Yep, does pick the hidden 3. This was a map I thought could be a potential ban. This is a aim control, sort of techie hidden map. And what I will say about this map is the first half is noticeably easier than the second half. Not that it's easy, but if you are going to get a big combo in this map, it's going to be on that first half most likely, because it does take a big
accuracy.
Increase. Oh my god.
Sorry for interrupting you there, but oh my god. No one had a fun time in that beginning, unfortunately for them, but slider break early on here for Tekkito. Otherwise, no notable drops.
Bit of a rough slider break though, because that 200 combo could end up going a long way as mrekk holds onto this longer combo. Pretty chilled section for now. Always brutal to miss right before the free combo.
Well, luckily enough, there's plenty of map remaining for it to not potentially be an issue.
That picks back up with these space triples. Are both players going to get through them?
Tekkito is going to be dropping on the longer burst section here. But mrekk still holding on strong to that FC.
mrekk just on form with the hidden today. First the hidden 2, now this. And I think we're now going into the harder second half of the map, but mrekk already with a huge combo lead. This is a difficult task for Tekkito because the place he has to find the combo now to take this back is in the hardest section of the map, as we're on the more tech-oriented section with more slider aim. Ooh.
I believe those are 1-6 bursts as well, so couple that with some speed-oriented sections, as those are 270 BPM bursts. Still holding on to the FC is mrekk with 1/3 of the map remaining.
tekkito getting through that section as well, but it just doesn't matter if mrekk's just holding on to a full combo. Only 1/3 of the map left.
We're gonna need to see mrekk miss pretty much right now in order for tekkito to have a shot at this. Chain miss on one of these streams would be ideal.
Pretty much.
As time ticks by, it's looking less and less likely though. Map only has just a bit remaining. tekkito's not even playing bad. He's holding combo through the hardest section of the map. It's just unlucky misses at the beginning. That's the only difference here, and it just that's the difference. That's all it takes.
mrekk wouldn't FC 2 maps back to back on completely different skill sets, would he? That would just be too much.
I want to make him miss so bad, and I can't. I'm washed up. I'm lightning the queen. Okay,
No, no, you still got it. You still got it. On the slider jumps.
And tekkito is hitting this too, dude. Like, what the hell? He almost FC'd that entire ending, and it just doesn't matter because mrekk basically FC'd the rest of the map. That is actually insane scores from both of them on that. And it's just unfortunate for tekkito because he's up against mrekk.
Yeah, I mean, getting an FC into an 870k on a brutal map. I think this map's been played in a few matches. I want to say this is the highest score we've seen on this map so far. But I'd have to look through the MPs. But yeah, phenomenal score from mrekk. And yeah, really well played by tekkito. Just missing on the easier section of the map really hurt his combo going into the hard part. But mrekk up 4-1 now, and he is looking well in shape to end this match as he goes into his next pick. You still have that Hard Rock 3 open if you want to lean to that Hard Rock advantage, but he does pick the DT2. So staying in the speed lane. This was tekkito's, highest score of the match so far, this skill set. So I don't think tekkito is going to be upset about this pick, but obviously mrekk phenomenally comfortable on DT speed, and I do think a map like this is even going to be more up his lane than the Nomad 5.
When the hell did Zudi FC this with DT? When did Zudi become a DT player?
Did Zudi FC this?
That's crazy. In any case, more about the map. Toho Eurobeat, it is your typical DT2. It is just about what you'd expect. Speed, stamina. Hope you like playing double time, and that is the map. Accuracy advantage well in favor of tekkito right now. Only 1x100, I believe, from him compared to mrekk. Somewhat struggling on the accuracy department in comparison.
I mean, this map does look a lot more finger control and rhythm oriented than the Nomad 5. And tekkito finding no struggles in the act department. We're seeing a similar story to the Nomad 5, just now tekkito has a much greater act advantage. Question is, can he, hold through this time?
Speed maps are so close, man. It's all coming down to accuracy. mrekk now finally starting to build up the accuracy. As soon as I say that, drops a couple of hundreds to go back down, but not a disaster by any means.
With how tekkito's looking, I don't know if he'll ever fall below mrekk's accuracy. I think mrekk is going to hope for tekkito to miss. I think that's really the only way he wins this pick.
Those buzz sliders are always scary because you can just randomly slider break on some of those, I think. Luckily, hasn't happened yet, as both players are going to be going into the second break seeing both of the FCs they have. Tekkito, at the very least, knows he has a pretty decent accuracy advantage, so he has some leeway in that regard. Noticing the score gap that he's built up, so he's got some leeway. Hopefully it can help with some of the nerve control during the ending here, as both these players just feel incredibly confident on this. There's not really much to say. They're kind of just owning this map. Oh my god.
No, he did it again. He found a break right at the ending as Fiery was having
wait,
but Mrekk!
okay.
Mrekk
just
never
trolled
mind.
it. Mrekk just trolled the entire point away. Thank you, Mrekk.
I think Mrekk might have gotten a few more misses than he necessarily needed to from that cursor flick. And that is going to be Tekkito winning the pick right at the end by 30k. Mrekk finding the trade.
Thank you, Mrekk. Very cool.
I'm
not really too sure why he did that. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
But,
I wonder how much score he lost because of that. I wonder if he just only found the single miss, or, the minimum amount of misses, he would have not lost as much score, but would have been close regardless.
Regardless, it's in the past. Both those players were very confident on that, much like No Mod 5. So pretty much what we expected went the way of Tekkito this time, with a very nice 99% without that one miss. So we get into the remaining stamina pick, No Mod 2.
I mean, yeah, it makes sense to pick. So far, Tekkito has an 800k and 900k on the tapping maps. Pick the last one left. Obviously not as high BPM, but still a very tapping-oriented No Mod 2. 211 is, I want to say, in the higher BPM range of what you typically see in a No Mod 2, especially in a round of 16. I think this map, the spacing doesn't get too crazy other than the ending.
I think this is actually a, if I'm not mistaken, probably a 150 BPM song sped up to 211.
Yeah. This is the classic Rohalkin hard rock map from like years ago, with the slider end spam. Now sped up to be a stream map.
If you want to make a stream map, just speed up an alt song. There you go.
I mean, pretty much, yeah. You can do the exact same thing with the Hard Rock 2 Midorigo. It's like 150 already. You can just speed up to any BPM you want. This time, Mrekk not showing the same axe struggles he had on DT2, as he is now well in the lead with 99.7.
Both players, once again, though, not having any issues in the combo department early on here. It's pretty much just the inverse of what we saw on DT2. Tekkito struggling on the accuracy, while Mrekk is shredding in the moment.
Indeed he is. Both players through the halfway point holding their combo. Looking super comfortable on the 211. Both players hitting the spacing at the end there as well.
Yeah, no problems, and they're going to be seeing that once again at the end, at the break point here, halfway through the map. They both have the FCs. Mrekk does have the accuracy lead by quite a considerable margin, only held, I believe, a 1x. Oh, that's a bad slider break from Tekkito, and he's going to be seeing that at the break.
And now...
That might actually just do it straight up, since this is the slow section immediately after.
Yeah, Mrekk pretty much has to miss immediately, but I mean, there's potential. If Mrekk misses on the first stream coming out of the slow section and then finds a chain miss, and the score, decrease could do it for Tekkito, but that would involve Mrekk missing on the stream map, which he is looking supremely comfortable on right now.
Mrekk is going to need to have a pretty big chain miss, and I think with that miss from Tekkito, it doesn't even matter if he misses, which he does at the very end here, but nonetheless, it doesn't matter at this point. Point is already safe and sound for him.
The score lead is well in favor. I think he could drop his pen down still win the pick.
Both players FCing the ending too. Tekkito getting slow slidered, unfortunately there, but it's not going to make a difference.
I think there's one big stream left. Let's see if either of them can hit it.
mrekk does drop at the end there.
Tekkito gets through it. Spacing at the end on that one is rough, and unfortunately will not win the pick though, as mrekk with the bigger combo getting 700k. Now taking the match to match point. And it's his opportunity to close things out with his next pick.
Just want to inform everyone of news as to what happened on DT2. mrekk forgot he was in a tournament match.
Oh, actually? That's funny.
This guy's number one on Osu, by the way. It goes crazy.
Dude, when you're at the top of the mountain, you forget that there's others below you. Just don't even know there's other players playing the game. But he picks the no mod one. The pretty comfy aim map. I mean, I think this was like a classic aim practice map a while back. Gonna be right up mrekk's alley, 240 BPM, so a bit higher than a typical no mod 1 in BPM.
DT1 did go the way of Tekkito last time, and that's probably the more comparable map that has been picked so far. Obviously not as fast, but the aim mechanics component is still very much there. So we'll see what happens. Both these players are more than capable of performing on high-level mechanics maps.
I mean, if high AR was the thing that was making it difficult for these players in the DT1, that is gone here. Just pure raw aim. There's a small accolade for Tekkito, and I want to say that doesn't matter, but if anything happens like the Zudi Enry match, this map going to an act battle can definitely happen. We've seen it before. But unfortunately, Tekkito finding the break, and now it's in mrekk's lane once again.
mrekk is very much well known for his no-mod aim prowess, having a lot of loved scores on Sedia maps. Nonetheless, still fairly close, all things considered. Only a 70k score gap, with about 2/3 of the map remaining.
Has this unironically, which is crazy to say, but this seems like a map mrekk would go for DT scores on. And this is the BPM range he's playing, like 360 plus BPM jumps now. This would be like halftime for him.
I think with unfortunately, I think with that miss, it might just be kind of doomed. As mrekk is just not really showing any signs of missing. I think Tekkito having a bit of a pen issue there. Either that or he also just knows it's over, which I honestly wouldn't really blame him, as mrekk immediately slider breaks as soon as he does that, so,
Yeah, I don't know. I hope it's a pen issue or a technical problem.
I imagine it probably is. Imagine his pen might have just died or something, and that's what he's having issues with. It's kind of an unfortunate situation. Nonetheless, though, congratulations, mrekk, for beating Tekkito, as Tekkito now officially does not have.
I believe he is not at his keyboard. I think he might have just bounced. which, you know, form your own opinions on that.
Well, nonetheless, mrekk going to be advancing into the quarterfinals. Bit of a anticlimactic finale, but well deserved, as mrekk has just been kind of popping off this entire match. Almost.
I think his only rough score was on the DT1, which is crazy to say from mrekk, but popping off on several maps, including an insane FC on the Hard Rock 2. A great score on the Hidden 3 as well, getting over 800k, but that is going to be GG's. mrekk winning 6-2 in the round of 16 against tekkito. Obviously, we'll be moving on to the losers bracket.
As we get a little machine gun audio there at the very end. Very cool laser client, thank you very much. Yeah, kind of not really kind of, a very unfortunate way to end things off, unfortunately, but we'll be seeing both of these players still as tekkito moves down to the losers bracket. mrekk continues on to the winners quarterfinals.
Yep, tekkito will be going up against a secret box in the losers bracket, and mrekk will be going on to a very, very interesting quarterfinals matchup. mrekk versus worst HR player. A very, early round to see that face off, but I think this came to be because of mrekk's quality score being lower than expected. But that'll be a banger quarterfinals match. Excited to see it.
Oh yeah, and for those wondering, we now have a manga. So what? If you want to see that, go to the Corsace Twitter account. It's a link to the one-shot manga that just got released, I believe, today, if I'm not mistaken. Very interesting piece of work there. I recommend you all check it out. Momokai, 10% off with code Corsace on your order if you so choose to shop with them. And I think that just about does it for us. Next match is going to be Intercamming versus Kriller. That's going to be happening in 11 hours. So if you are in North America, go the hell to sleep.
Yeah. Yeah, GG's. I think that'll be it from me and Fiery. Yeah, see you in 11 hours.